Welcome back, my friends. This is Professor Gadget here, camping along the Delaware River in New Jersey at a state park, Worthington State Park. Haven't done a video in a while, and I want to thank all my new subscribers to the channel. I want to thank those of you who have asked questions and comments, and you're really the inspiration for me for doing these videos. And I wanted to talk about this new unit, this new gadget I bought here, the Jackery Explorer 1500. It has about 3 times the capacity that my Cold Zero 500 has. I did a few videos on that. And I got this really because the 500 wasn't enough. And I wanted to go off-grid for several days. I've been off-grid now for 4 days. And one day was sunny, and I was able to use solar to recharge. And we have a couple of generators here with a few guys I'm camping with, and we use that to recharge things. But the 1500, wow, it just has a lot of capacity. One of the big things, I go cold weather camping, and I wanted to be able to run an electric blanket. Here, the Jackery 1500 can run this electric blanket on high the entire night. I wouldn't recommend running it on high. If you just run it on just half, medium, you could run it for a couple nights before you even recharge it. I run other accessories here in my camper. This camper is new. Since my last video, I've added the camper, built out the bed in here, built out a unistrut rack system to be able to hold all my gadgets. And there's gadgets on the other side, facing the wind door on the other side. But really impressed with several items here in the Jackery 1500 that the Goal Zero doesn't have. And I'll talk about them here on the Jackery, and I'll show you the 1500. Well, this is the 1500. I'll show you the 500 in a minute. The Goal Zero is in my other tent. I just turned on the display. That will automatically turn off. That doesn't happen on the Goal Zero, and that will drain the Goal Zero in storage even faster. See this DC port? I turn on the DC port, and if nothing is pulling, if it's inactive for a period of time, it will actually shut that off. Goal Zero, no dice. And the Goal Zero, therefore, I've accidentally left on ports overnight. I've accidentally left the display on, and it just has drained the battery while it's sitting there, not even being used for good usage. I really like this inverter here. It's a 1800 watt inverter. I think it even may have more of a surge to that. And so therefore no problem running appliances and stuff. Not a problem for other people, but I do ham radio, amateur radio. One of the things with this inverter is I can hear it on the air. It causes interference on the airwaves. So just a consideration if you do ham radio and stuff like that. The Goal Zero does not cause interference on the inverter for the Goal Zero, but there's a lot of deficiencies there. What I do with my camper to give me a little extra space for a longer trip like this, I have a bug screen that I put down, able to keep the bugs down. A lot of lantern flies this year. I have a 5x5 Eureka canopy tent, and I put up the walls in that, and I have a door, and then I attach that. I do a little tarp over it and attach it to a 10x10 Euramax, and this is where I call my living room or my radio shack. And I keep everything else in here. I got my shack on a rack, I call it, my ham radio gear, and there's a couple of antennas. There's an antenna I have up there, and an antenna I set up on the truck when I'm camping like this. And here's the Goal Zero 500. I turn on that light display. That will not turn off until I turn it off, and that will take energy and drain the battery. Same with these ports. And I'm not impressed with this. I've tried to run DC to DC, and this trips, the breaker on this trips very easily. But like I said, a quiet inverter. I can actually run my power supply here if I want to, and not have any interference on the airwaves. So let me remember to turn these off, because even like this, keeping the Goal Zero in storage with nothing on, everything turned off, it does not maintain a good shelf life. It starts to drain. So you have to kind of keep this plugged in. With the 1500, I've left it for weeks without being plugged in, come back to it, and 100%. All right, so I want to give folks the update on where I'm at. Hopefully I'm going to get some more videos out. I'm going to get out a video on my Victron and Battleborn project. Life's been kind of crazy, and I'm sure it's been crazy for you all too. Hope you're doing okay in your lives, and thanks for watching this video. More videos to come. Hanging out here with the guys, camping on a beautiful November fall day. Thanks for watching, guys.